That was the scene in New York City where a group of, tourists from Texas showed up to get into an indoor dining area at a restaurant in the Upper West Side. And when presented with the fact that they need to show their vaccine proof, at least one dose of a vaccine proof, fights broke out instead. So let's get to some of the details of what happened. The attack happened outside Carmine's restaurant on the Upper West Side early Thursday evening. The 22-year-old hostess asked the group of Texans to show proof of getting the COVID vaccine in order to dine in the restaurant, which is part of New York's executive order that went into effect this week. Law enforcement sources said that the hostess was then repeatedly punched in the face and body and sent to the hospital. So Carmine's, that restaurant, said that the incident was a shocking and tragic situation when one of our valued employees is assaulted just for doing their job, as is required by city policies and trying to make a living. So the three suspects, they're 21, 44, and 49. They're gonna be facing some charges. We don't know exactly what those charges are yet, but there could be multiple levels. Assault in the third degree will get you a misdemeanor charge and punishable by up to 1 year in the local jail, 3 years probation, or lesser penalties like conditional discharges and fines and all those things. Second degree gets you other things. It gets a little higher. I'm not seeing it's gonna get much up to like the first degree with the B violent felony with a sentence of 25 years in prison. That's not gonna happen. But there's a range they can go with. We'll see exactly what happens here, but the real problem is the fact that a vaccine request from a hostess who's doing her job got this kind of response.
Yeah, no. They need to set an example here. They need to charge them with really serious crimes, and they need to put them in jail for at least a year. So why am I saying that, guys? Normally we talk about criminal justice reform, and America, generally speaking, punishes too much, not too little. But in this case, if they just let people off with fines, it's going to encourage more violence. Like, this is a nonstop violence by the right wing. And whenever they don't like their way, they go, I have the freedom. I have the freedom to spread deadly diseases to you. Now I have the freedom to swing my arms wildly and punch you in the face several times. No, you do not have that freedom. That's not no, you're impinging upon my rights when you hit my face. So they should send a very clear message and charge them with very serious crimes. They punched that woman in the face multiple times, and God knows what kind of damage they could have done if they weren't stopped eventually. And so if you don't put an end to it, vigilante violence from the right wing, thinking that they're defending freedom from government tyranny at Carmine's, from pasta tyranny at Carmine's. I'm joking, but I'm not. They're going to do way more violence as we go forward.
Yeah, and I'm out here in this area. I live in Jersey, right next to New York, and the really sad part about this is how many other options they had, because you can still eat outside, you can still order food, you can still enjoy the city in a variety of different ways. And what's important is to really, for the same people who obviously always talking about the rights to privacy, don't want to hear that. The same people who don't want to deal with the consequences of the choices that they make. If you don't want to get vaccinated, we're not forcing you to do it. The country's not forcing you to do it. However, if you don't get vaccinated, then there's going to be places that you can't enter. There's going to be places that you can't go. However, many Americans are so childish that they just can't handle that. And as you pointed out, and as we just saw from the video, this type of radicalization is hitting the streets. And unfortunately, because so many people are not getting vaccinated, the numbers are continuing to spread. And as mass mandates and different types of mandates like this persist, the anger is gonna continue to grow. So, like you said, there needs to be an example made out of them so that people know that there will be consequences if they decide to do this.
It's weird how folks maybe come up from Texas. A lot of people from different states, especially when it's more of the conservative type of states. And I don't know these folks' background, but the one definitely thing is, you come to our state, you follow our rules. Did you not know New York had this put in place? Did you not know that these liberal bastions were doing things like this to make sure people were protected and had these different policies in place? We know what Governor Abbott's doing down in Texas. So if you go down to Texas, you can understand what you're gonna get yourself involved with, whether you like it or not. It's what the locals may say. So why doesn't that apply here? You're gonna travel up to New York, and then I can't believe you let me in the restaurant without my vaccine. What is this? where have you been? Where have you been living? Do you not know what's been going on? Is this a surprise to anybody?
Yeah, it's a great point, JR. Whenever you go down there, they do that weirdly terroristic threat of like, you're not around these parts, huh? Right? All right, well, not around these goddamn parts in New York. And by the way, what used to be all of America, you're not allowed to punch people. That isn't your goddamn freedom. I know these lunatics have lost their minds. Oh, I have total freedom to do anything I want, right? Oh, I can drive 200 miles per hour in your residential area and maybe it kills your kids, but I have freedom. Government tyranny, no way, man. You know what? The government tyranny to put a mask on, government tyranny to put pants on or underwear on. I'm gonna show my junk at the mall. Freedom, freedom, and they believe it. They believe it. I swear, they'll watch this video and they'll be like, that's a good point. Why aren't I showing my junk? Don't tread on me with underwear, right? Well, in a couple of ways.
Kinds of treads.
Yeah. So, but listen, guys, you're mad at Mayor Bill de Blasio for passing that law or that rule. That's a different thing. You punch a hostess in the face for no goddamn reason because of your stupid entitlement. Think about their mentality. I'm entitled to go into that restaurant. I'm entitled to punch you in the face if I even disagree with you a little bit. No, you're entitled to a jail cell for at least a year. Let's go. Thanks for watching The Young Turks. Really appreciate it. Another way to show support is through YouTube memberships. You'll get to interact with us more. There's live chat emojis, badges. You've got emojis of me, Anna, John, JR. So those are super fun. But you also get playback of our exclusive member-only shows and specials right after they air. So all of that, all you gotta do is click that join button right underneath the video. Thank you.